What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew 2, and well, it is Wednesday, which means the new summit is now live, which is the Pole Position 2, bringing us a very fun touring-focused summit with two new bikes. We'll get into this in just 1 second, though. Let's take a look at the up-and-coming ones right now. So obviously, in this one, we do have the Platinum Award, the Prismatic Pink Underglow, which looks pretty interesting, and then the Legendary Half-Set Boosted for the Touring Car class. Not too sure how those affixed stats are going to work on that thing, but I guess I'll have to wait and see. Moving over, they are coming. We'll have the insane-looking Ford F-150 SVT Raptor from outer space. And my goodness, this thing looks absolutely insane. Obviously, the side blade underglow there in common, and then the other half set for touring car there, which I'm not really too sure on how that one's going to do, though, because bucks and followers will probably be a lot better. Taking a look at this summit right now, though, it's going to be a nice little mix here. We have some street races, a hypercar race, a jet sprint, and then an aerobatic event. Those two right there are probably going to be pretty frustrating, I have a feeling. Haven't seen an aerobatic event in a long time. We all know how these planes can be. And we also get to drive the truck down there in the vehicle forced race, so that's going to be pretty fun to check that thing out. Nonetheless, though, the jet sprint and the aerobatics are probably going to throw a lot of players in for a loop. Moving over to back to the 50s, the Platinum Award looks pretty interesting on this one. I'm not really too sure how that is going to be. It's got nice colors and stuff like that. And then the other set for the Rally class, which looks like a live booster set, which honestly, the sniffer set is actually pretty dang good. Honestly, it helps you guys find the live rewards pretty dang fast. And I really do like that one. It's actually surprisingly good. And nonetheless, though, the Rally vehicles are pretty much the best vehicles to use when going after them anyway, because a lot of them are in the middle of nowhere. Then moving over there, we're going to have the Mitsubishi Attic, which is going to give us a Nitro Chemist boosted for the Rallycross, which is actually a loot digger set with bucks, and then another perk there, which I'm not really too sure on this one, honestly, because for loot digger, you're going to want lucky, and gold finder is going to be the best perks there to actually get you guys the parts you're looking for. Nonetheless, so it's going to be an interesting one to test out, and I'm sure you could probably change the ones on there if you would like. It's another chance to get like the, maybe if you guys don't have that set, you could get that one and then change the perks on it to get the ones you are looking for. And then in gold, we'll have the Dark Punch Nitro, which looks pretty interesting, and then obviously the Lancer Evolution X Drift edition in silver there, which many people probably already have that. And if you do have some of these sets, I noticed, like the little addition thing there, I noticed you do get the money for those. Anyway, let's jump in to the Pole Position 2 right now. So jumping right into the summit, I'm not going to lie, this summit's actually pretty fun to do, and I don't know why my voice just got so high there, but jumping right into this, the Slalom here is going to be pretty straightforward. I did run the Ducati Panigale R on this one, which I'm sure the Rally Raid vehicle with the insanely high score breaker set will probably do a lot better, but nonetheless, though, you really can't get much higher anyway. It's like 500 to 600 points, which isn't really going to make too much of a difference. For the Escaper, I probably could do a little better, probably could do a little faster on this one, honestly, but I did run it the Chevrolet Stingray because, you know, this is like the only drag car to use on the Escapes here, and you pretty much just turn around this one and go as fast as you can, and that's pretty much it. And it's pretty easy to do. Biggest thing here is watching out for the cars that randomly spawn out of nowhere when you're doing 300 miles an hour. That could definitely be a problem. Then for the low altitude, I just went straight off from spawn and just continue on the little river there, and I still got 156,000 points, which is basically the max score there, so really nothing else to do on that one. It's pretty easy to do. I ran the Zivko Edge, which is an amazing plane, honestly. I definitely recommend checking that thing out. Moving over to the first race, now I do want to mention the new Ninja H2 and the GPZ 900R are new bikes in the game. Stay tuned for the videos on these bikes later on in the week. I do want to test them out to see how they do, especially against the king of the bike in the touring car class anyway. The Ducati Panigale R is definitely probably the best bike to use right now, which is why all the no restriction bike races here are basically that bike only. But when it comes to this race, though, I have to admit it's actually not as bad as I thought. The Ninja, surprisingly, is pretty decent, has really nice stability and handling to it. Looking forward to test this thing out and doing the video on that thing, because it actually seems like a pretty decent bike. This race really isn't too bad, though. I had a good time with it. Definitely put the settings on there that I have in the video here, guys. I definitely tried those out on there. It did pretty dang well. Then moving over, this race is going to be a no restriction, which is obviously going to be the Panigale R, which I think all of these races will be like that because the Ducati is just insanely good. Most of these tracks are basically kind of focused on going around the turns correctly. I noticed that for both of these races here, going to be your best bet. This one's going to actually be stage 4, which is going to be a decently long race. I got 5 minutes and 33 seconds, but I thought it was pretty slow. Nonetheless, it's actually pretty dang fast, and this race is actually pretty open. A lot of tight turns and stuff, but luckily the Ducati is just insanely fast. It handles really well, and it pretty much eats up any race you throw at it. When it comes to the Ninja H2, though, I'm looking forward to test this thing out as well because I'm kind of mixed on this bike. I'm not even going to lie. I think it's because of the weight of it, because in real life, the Ninja H2 is very heavy. Obviously, it needs to be because it is supercharged. Nonetheless, so you could actually feel that weight when racing this thing on the track, though. I can tell going around the turns, it might struggle a little bit, or it's a little more clunky and stuff compared to the Ducati, even the GPZ $900. So I'm going to have to test that out a little bit. Looking forward to posting that video later on in the week as well. Stay tuned for that, because the H2 is going to be an interesting one in this class. I think, unfortunately, it might be one of those bikes that a lot of people won't be using too much unless they're cruising around. And then the final race here in the actual touring car, until we get to the actual really weird, like, mixed street race event thing here. This race really isn't too bad either. I had a good time at this one as well. And the Giants is going to be one of those races that have a lot of turns and stuff. By the way, with the AI on these, the biggest thing to do is watch out for them. Luckily, you pretty much fly by them within, like, the first turn, because they do, like, 17 miles an hour the entire race for some weird reason, and you might end up passing them depending on how fast you are as well, so watch out for them, because they definitely can get in the way of how slow they are. Nonetheless, though, they're basically going really slow around the turn, so watch out for them, because they really do love getting in the way. I'm pretty sure they're just out for like a joyride on a really nice track in California, but who really knows. Moving over to the last race here is going to be a street race mixed into the bike. Now, we'll probably recognize this race because it was in a summit recently. It's actually a pretty fun one to do as well. It definitely puts this bike to the test. I got 3 minutes and 1 second on there, 126K, pretty decent. And this is actually going to be a pretty straightforward overall race. There's a lot of sharp turns in this one, so make sure you guys are getting the line correctly on the turns to get around in the fastest way possible. Anyway, let's jump right into some. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below.
3, 2, 1. Two, one.